So, I finally got the top stripped. That was a pain. Now I'm gonna block it to find all of my dents, which, I mean, some you can clearly see. Some kind of hidden, like right here. Can't really see that one. So I'm gonna block it. Got a 6-inch block, piece of 80. This is just crappy primer. But we're gonna find all these dents, and we'll see what it looks like. How much stud pulling I'm gonna have to do. Let me see, where's one? Right here. That one's definitely gonna have to be stud pulled. Them two. 3. 1, 2, 3. But I'm gonna put you on the time lapse and get the block. Compressor shut off just in time. So, as you can see, all the mini vast of dents I found, which some aren't dents, some are like little imperfections that like glazing putty could fix, like this one. It's like glazing putty can fix that right there. That's a dent. Glaze. This too probably needs filler, but you know. But stuff like this, that's a dent. Dent. Big dents over here. This was a scratch, so no biggie. I think that can be filled with filler. This one, it's a dent. But yeah, this one's a mega dent. You can see it pretty good. But all of those now have to be the ones that I think need pulled. The ones that I think need glazed, I'll probably just put filler on them, and then, you know, final glaze. But again, this is just canned crappy primer. In fact, I think it's Rust-Oleum primer. Before anybody's like, oh no, it's gonna mess up the paint. It's oil-based paint, so shut up. But yeah, the roof is actually in, I mean, the whole truck is in this good of shape. Like, again, it's already been oil-based, so don't freak out on me. I'm just going back to what I can afford without stripping the truck completely down and using like a gallon of epoxy primer on it, then 2K primer, then sealer, then paint. You know, I mean, the way I'm doing it, it's going to be about $150 paint job. I know, don't freak out, you're going to hate it, I'm sure, but this is the way I can afford. If you want to send the big guy $800 in paint, I'll paint it, but this is all I got right now. So yeah, pull dents, fill dents, move on. After this, it'll be working on this body line. As I've done said, I don't like it, so I'm going to fill it. Again, it's not thick. Let's see here. That's about the straightest edge thing I got. Well, I mean, that's like not even a 16th. But that's it, all the way. No, I wasn't using this to spread filler, but I do. But these actually work good for, like this, it's going to be killer for that. But I was using this to scrape paint stripper. It wasn't very good at stripping, slightly paint remover. But I'm happy I got this done. Yeah, so let's move on. So something just about went very badly for me. I was up here welding studs on. You can't even see them in the video. I'll get a little closer now that there's no danger. But yep, porcupined. Got all them about, hit these other two holes and completely missed the back side of that one. No, it's there. Alright. But yeah, oh, weld pop from one of these front ones over here popped down. Literally watched it roll all the way down, stop, catch that on fire. Caught it in time, which was literally jumping out of the bed and running around here enough to blow it out. Dripped a little hot melt plastic on some stuff, no big deal, wipes right off. Even on the intake, wipes right off. Don't hurt the paint or nothing, thank God. Crap's like $17 a can, so luckily I got all the studs welded on, put a glove on and blocked it this time, so now I can pull them. Watch many of them pop off, and there's probably not too much dent up there to where I can just slightly pull them and then fill them, get them below like a 16th. That's how I want them. So I'm nervous and jittery now because of that, but I only got 2 more welds I gotta do. My welder won't reach, and considering I'm talking about that right now, I got 3 more. I am getting ready to cut this cart up because it's getting on my nerves. This wheel is rolling under because it has air. That wheel over there don't. That wheel over there don't. Welders, you can't move them easily in here. And it's because the table's so big. So I'm either going to cut it down to like right there and use it normal and, you know, put the rest somewhere else just to get it out of my way, or I'm going to switch everything over to that black toolbox in there, which was my grandfather's welding box. He had his welders on top of it. Unfortunately, he had concrete. I don't. But that right there would be a good welding box if I go that route. Unfortunately, it is on hard plastic casters, which suck. So I might have to weld new wheels of some kind on there. It sucks being in gravel. Gravel sucks. I hate you. Not you. You. So I'm going to pull some dents. Try to slam out some music here and get it out of my head that I almost caught my truck on fire and destroyed it. So let's get back to So, easily pulled all the dents. Next step, take your cutoff wheel, grinder, whatever you got. If you got one of the air cutoff wheels, electric, don't matter. Just cut off all of your studs now. Ow. I try to get them close as I can. Kind of hard to do with one hand recording. And that's what happens. You dig into your friggin' roof. Very slightly. But anyway, so what you do, cut all them off. Then I'm going to take my roll lock with a piece of, I believe this is 180 on here, and grind all these flush and smooth and nice. I'll reuse these studs. Considering I'm using a MIG welder to put them on, I can use them again probably 2 more times and they're toast. But that's all you gotta do. Alright, now that I have them all cut off and ground down, definitely a lot better than they were. Higher. I'm going to mix up some filler. This is Evercoat Rage Gold. This can is about 3 or 4 years old. I know. Somebody right now is like, don't use that. Yeah, you can use them. There's no problem. Mix them up. I've got a big paddle I keep them mixed up with. Filler doesn't go bad. Now it does get a little stiff. And what I'll do with that is I'll add a little resin. That'll thin it back out. So, get some out here. Now the one thing I am terrible at is judging how much how much filler I am going to need. So I usually get more than enough and end up wasting some, but it's better to have not enough than, or better to have too much than not enough. There we go. Let me use my big boy words. So since these are so small, I'm going to say that right there is probably plenty. Now this is just a regular thing. I use them to get them out with. Regular mud blade is actually what we call them all the time from Michigan. When I lived in Michigan. Oh, let's get this out of the way. Alright, now I was mixing actual resin hardener with this, and it didn't want to dry, but that could be my 4-year-old resin hardener. So I'm just going to use the cream. It always seems to make it harden, and I'm going to make a little well here. I'm not going to put much in, but you can see how stiff this is, and it's not from the weather, it's stiff from age. Its rigor mortis has set in on my filler, but yeah, it's nothing special. We're just going to add a little bit of this. There we go. And it's just going to make it to where it's easily pliable again. Sorry, I'm a little anal when it comes to that stuff. It's expensive. These things used to be like $8. They're almost 20 now. So yeah, we'll keep that as much as we can in there. And that's literally all I'm giving it. Quarter size, maybe 1/8 inch deep. And now, some filler, some hardener. Now that isn't much. I know somebody's like, right now that's not a lot of filler, or a lot of hardener. No, it's not. Because I don't want it to be. I want to have time to cover a lot of area, because I have a lot of area to cover. So, I'm going to mix this up real quick. I'll put you on time lapse back in the case, and you can see what I'm doing. Wait, stop right there. Please take a second to scroll on down and hit that subscribe button, maybe a little thumbs up like, and if there's anything interesting you liked about the video, why not comment, tell me good job, or say stay off of YouTube. I don't care, just help me out here. Hit the button, like some of the other content, go check it out. If you're really feeling generous, go to the shop. You can get a shirt that's completely worn out, not like this one, but you can get a good shirt over there at the shop. It's going to be at the end of the video. But please, like, share, and subscribe. So, all my filler dried last night. 5-year-old filler again. Little resin, little hardener. Still golden. About, I don't know, about halfway almost. Big areas like this, I am going to get a long block on. I think I'm going to need a little more right here. Long block this area. These little small areas, they're pretty much done. My sandpaper, when you first do your filler from adding resin to it, gets gummy, so I'll blow it out, keep on going. But it's all coming along really nice. It'll be golden. So keep watching, Pony Boy. So when you've been doing this quite a while, as I have, you don't really need guide coat and crap. Your eyes sort of get adjusted to the different colors. Like you can see low spot, low spot, low spot, low spot. I can see it. Oh, you can see it real good on the camera. Miss that spot. Low spot, low spot, low spot. This in the center here is actually a low spot. Low spot. And there's another one somewhere. That might have been it. Everything else seems to be pretty good. But there's also pinholing in other areas, which I just run over it with some glaze real quick. I did grind out this back part. Again, I don't like that body line there. It just don't look right. So I'm just gonna right over it. It's very shallow. Sanded it, well actually ground it out, then ground beside it to make sure it was real good and clean, then hand sanded it to get it to where it wasn't bad, and ready for filler now. So this will have to be hand blocked, like these areas and stuff, just to make sure they're perfectly flat, but no big deal. So I need to mix up a little more filler. This time I'm going to leave the resin out of it, so that way it don't fight me the whole time I'm sanding it. Should be fine still. So I actually think the higher the grade, like the Rage Gold versus, I bought another gallon of regular lightweight. I put it somewhere, I don't remember, but the regular lightweight probably uses less resins, so it's not as hard to sand. This stuff's wicked fast. I mean, if you're using that pink Bondo, you're an idiot, because that crap is like sanding stone with stone. So don't. Get something higher quality. I mean, you can get U-Pole and stuff at O'Reilly's now. So there's no excuse to keep using pink body filler unless you're like building a, I don't know, something you want to be hard as stone, because it sucks. Alright, let's mix up some more filler and slap it on. Get it out, get it done, take a break, let it dry, come back out. Alright, so after I got it all sanded down, I had a couple of low spots. Fixed them. It was only in this area. And this whole back, where that body line is that I do not like, got rid of it. So, let's let that dry and sand it again. Like usual. Mix too much filler. It's alright. Better to have too much than not enough. So, where I'm not used to recording with the camera, I had the case on the whole time. So, welcome back to Fatty's Garage, where I'm trying to get some crap done. It's the Big Guy Garage, but you know, Fatty out here trying to do some stuff. Anywho, I've been doing more sanding on the roof. It's getting there. Got another stack of 80, getting ready to jump back on it. Need to pull off my mirror brackets so I can sand behind them. Gonna leave the door handles on, just get around them real good. Still gotta weld up these 3 holes and finish welding that one, because I don't wear a mask and I didn't see it. I was blind at that point. Gotta do the fender. I need to shape this one better. The back one's already done, but there's some low areas which I'll probably use a little glazing putty on, be done with it. This area needs tightened up a little bit because it's sort of rolled instead of pointed like the body line. So I'll have to do some work to that. The other side's pretty good as far as that goes. I missed an area over there that needed more filler, so I have to add some. It's alright, there's still plenty to do. Only the top side of this truck from here up is getting sanded because it's got this crappy, flaking, just terrible stuff you don't want to see on a truck that's going to be this nice. Almost caught it on fire. Weld pop shot down there when I was welding on the studs. This side's got stripper on it. Not the good kind. This is the bad kind. It sucks. They all suck now. It's been on there for like 2 weeks and literally does nothing. You would think there was a clear coat on this stuff, and there's not. But it's just that crappy. So this is why all this has to be done. You see how that looks? The whole top side from here up looks like that. Bed don't. Bed is fine. Bed is smooth. It just needs a little, like 180, 220. Couple little spots fixed, and it'll be good to go. This all still has to be sanded. Still have to do this body line, and I'm gonna do straight across from here. Yeah, that's not straight at all, but straight across from there, all the way around to the other side. White. Leave the door blue. Down here, white. Put a red pinstripe. Red pinstripe. White panel all the way down to the front to wrap around. Red pinstripe. So blue, red, white. America, baby. America. But still got some filler work to do. A little bit of welding. I just did all this a second ago. So it's like, but there you go. I'm going to jump back to sanding that top. Get it done. And hopefully get this thing out of here by the 1st or 2nd of the year, so I can sell it and build the International. Alrighty, I've got all of the stuff I can palm sand down pretty far done now. I can feel these are kind of high, kind of high, kind of high, kind of high, and kind of high. What I'm going to do is, this is some 80 grit on my Motor Guard big block. This is a BG 12-1. Comes in the big block kit. These are really good, firm, but soft sanding blocks. So I'm going to basically try to get all these as flat as humanly possible on something that's rounded this way and this way, but it'll be fine. It's actually flat enough. So I'm going to hit it with that, and after I do a little bit of this work, I'm going to hit it with some 180 to make everything smooth, and I believe it'll be done. You know what? I forgot that paste right there too. So that's going to have to get filled along with these, or should I say that one, and that one up there, and these ones over here. But that's no big deal. That's easily accessible from out of the bed, which is full of crap. But let's do some block. We're at the point now to where I'm getting ready to start doing a little bit of longboarding. Got it almost done. I've got a problem. I can't help it. Well, all the blocking's done. Come out real nice. I think I got a low spot right here, but it's so low. I mean, so low. I'm going to use a little bit of spot putty. Spot putty this. Any of these little holes, you're getting spot putty. Little spot putty here. Little spot putty there. And it should be pretty good. Now, what I also like to do is I like to feather the edges with some spot putty. You know, I can feel something right there still. That's going to need some spot putty. Need some spot putty up here. Just basically anything. Holy moly. Like that. I don't know if you can see it. But I'll cover usually all my filler and spot putty just to make sure I get everything. Hit this whole back with spot putty, and we'll let that dry. Found my old Rocco hat. It was in the cab of the truck. This thing's sweet. I'm gonna wash it. But I'm gonna smear on some U-Pole, which is what I got, some glazing and spot putty. This is better than the Evercoat blue can of polyester glaze. That stuff turns to stone, but nothing is as good as Dolphin glaze, okay? Dolphin glaze is the winner. Well, you know, I had a tube of Smart Putty. That stuff is wicked good too. It actually sands easier and comes out smoother than the Dolphin glaze. So, Smart Putty or Dolphin glaze, that's your options on the good stuff. This is like a medium grade, and the red stuff is garbage. Don't use it. It never hardens. But let's lay some putty. So last night I got all the glazing putty on. Today I had to fix my welding cart. Then I welded up all the holes and ground them down over here on the pillar. We got a little nick there to fix, but those are ready to go. So I've swapped in some 180 on the palm sander. That's usually what you hit glaze with. Again, glaze is not a filler. It is simply a spot putty or a pinhole fixer. So what we're going to do with it. We're going to fix all the pinholes and little imperfections. Still have to do that front one, but I can reach it from the ground, no biggie. I'll have to do all of them with filler going down the pillar. But let's 180 this out and get it done. So what we got here is a little bit of bed liner, and bed liner is plastic, so you can't really do anything unless you want to grind it off. But I torch mine off. I get this stuff bubbly and scrape it right off there. This is the quickest way. Again, not putting enough heat in there to hurt anything. Just enough to get it gooey. Comes off like butter. Go right to the edge and keep what's on the back. Ready to sand. I'll finish this off now. So if you take a good look around right now, you'll see a thick layer of dust on everything. I've been sanding this one door. So from the top of the door to this body line, 35 minutes. Getting this crap off, which is the old paint, the old actual oil base. Some of it looks like it's still got to go down, but I'm getting annoyed, a little aggravated. Over here, the door is pretty good. Till you get to like right here, I think there's a lot of filler in there, and I'm curious to know why. Shouldn't do it, but I'm probably going to grind that out of there just to see what's there and if I can fix it to make it look better. The roof's pretty much done. I've got to do this body line. Back is about done. It's real dusty on everything. I got to hit this top line, do that, get it all done. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of hand sanding on the inside of the door because when I go white, I want to do the inside of the door jamb white too. I'm that kind of special. The tailgate, I stripped the, geez, there's a lot there. The bed liner off where they had it wrapped all the way over. I didn't like it. So stripped it off, sanded it. It's pretty good shape. There's a couple little dents. Got a big, what looks like somebody cut into it with a cutoff wheel. Or, you know, even a circular saw if they were using it back in the day. Got the rust off. It's pretty good. Got a lot to do on here, as you can see. Rust everywhere. Probably going to strip the entire tailgate with paint stripper. It sucks. For the most part, I'll hit it with what stripper I have left, and then I'll follow that up with the DA set to grind and grind it all off. Probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to get back to sanding. Got a lot of sanding to do. Bed not so much, but front part of the cab, a lot. Let's do it. Well, I was going full hard. Just freaking wah with my DA and some 80. Getting this side clean. Really close to clean on this side. As I'm standing right here on the driver's side of the truck, behind me is the compressor door, which is to the compressors. Boom, baby! A big old explosion. And what had happened was, I've already started fixing it, but this was a threaded plastic 1/2-inch nipple. I've replaced it with steel and a stronger piece. Broke, blew off, and actually blew the glue right out of the end of it. Yeah, so I'm down right now. I've got to redo this, and then while I was at it, I'm like, you know, I haven't checked them filters in forever. So I actually took apart my Harbor Freight filter, which they don't carry anymore. This is it, the big industrial one. Yes, it is gooed up. The filter is toast. My other filter is toast. So now I'm gonna have to get a new air filter too. So I'm down for a while. Maybe tomorrow I'll start stripping the tailgate. And yeah, worst comes to worst if I gotta wait for an air filter for a while, because they're kind of expensive. I'll just hook it up straight, no air filter, and just deal with it. But I've got everything to fix this basically right now. Just wanted an air filter. Lovely.